yet today from Russian people and Chinese people. He did the same thing in China. You've changed my life. For 25 years, Richard has had an appraisal and valuation company. He has both taught appraisal classes and mentored people at his office while they learned to do appraising and get their appraisal credentials. They too recognized Richard and said, "You have changed my life." Richard has a special talent for pulling a community together and motivating people to become active participants in their community. He is president of our 18 Community Homeowners Association and is determined to continue to make it an award-winning community. Through his caring, enthusiasm, and encouragement, he has changed the way an entire community thinks of itself. What better legacy could anyone leave than a cadre of people who have declared, "You've changed my life"? What better service to humanity than somebody who cares deeply enough to change lives one by one? I too am grateful to Richard, who changed my life 39 years ago to become my husband. Thank you.
I deeply appreciate the friends, family, fraternity brothers, and all of you who have come to celebrate with this esteemed group of Parsons College students. When you leave today, there will be no doubt in your mind that Parsons and her faculty play an important role in the sending of successful, caring, knowledgeable, and helpful people out into the world. Thank you for attending, and thank you, Mr. Neff, and all of you who created this event for restoring the great history of Parsons and for making this day possible. Dr. Tree, thank you for your passion for teaching and for introducing hundreds and hundreds of students to the beauty and elegance of learning, reading, and understanding our past. You have had a greater impact than you could possibly know. Thank you. I came to Fairfield to attend Parsons College in 1960. And to refresh your memories, this was an era of a new, young President of the United States who beckoned, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." These were very moving words for teenagers. This was the era of the Peace Corps. Again, very appealing to young college kids. Regrettably, there was also the era of the 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion. This was also the era of the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, where I recall all of us huddled around the TV set watching this crisis unfold and convinced that our college degree was going to have to wait while us guys would go off to fight those darn Russians. By 1963, our inspiring U.S. president was dead. The balloon of enthusiasm, hope, and asking what we could do for our country was was deflated. By August of 1964, President Johnson signed the Tonkin Bay Resolution, which sent many of our 60s era graduates to war in Vietnam. So that is what was going on in our world while at Parsons. Parsons gave me the tools, a great education, teaching credentials, and a new, inexplicable confidence. I want to just finish with a little anecdote about an experience in Russia, which I think speaks volumes about our perception of people and what's really happening. This was 1 week following the coup that toppled Gorbachev and brought Yeltsin to power. I was teaching at a huge auditorium, simultaneous translation. Across the street was the Belly Dome, translated White House, the Russian White House, Belly Dome. Tanks were still parked in strategic locations. The U.S. Embassy was in walking distance, giving a lot of comfort. At the conclusion of the first week, the students wanted to throw a party for their American professor. Russians are very good at parties. Each seat had 3 glasses in front of it: vodka, champagne, cognac. And Russians are very good at toasting. By the way, I found in Russia and in China and other parts of the world that when you get away from the bureaucracy, you find ordinary folks who want the same things you and I want. They do enjoy good jokes. They want the best for their children. They like to dance and they like to sing. Education is a universal pursuit. So near the end of the first class, the students decided to have a big party. And near the conclusion of the party, one of the students stood up to the microphone and said, "Professor Rees, we have a present to give you as appreciation for the new knowledge that you've brought to us. Please accept these books, which are the poems of Pushkin, the famous Russian poet." I was moved by this, and I said that I would, upon return to the United States, donate these books of poetry in the name of this class to the California University library system, so that students from all over the world could enjoy the poetry of Pushkin. Well, every week it became a thing. Lots of toasting, followed by wonderful gifts. So the last week, what do you suppose they presented me? The complete writings of Karl Marx. So I went into my speech and I said, thank you very much. I'm going to donate these to the University of California library system so students all over the world can read, notice not enjoy, can read the writings of Karl Marx, at which point there was a student that became very animated at the back of the room, and he was waving his hands, and he said, Professor Rees, Professor Rees. I said, yes? He said, for God's sakes tell him We tried it, and it didn't work.
Stephen Smith, class of 67, attorney and youth advocate. With Paul Smith, brother of Steve, please come forward as the presenter.
Good morning. I asked Steve to prepare something since he's not going to be able to make it today. And first off, he kind of listed some of his accomplishments since graduating from Parsons. Says he graduated from Parsons with a BA in sociology. While he was at Parsons, he was a member of the Lambda Chi Alpha, serving as its president. He served in several different positions of student government, including vice president of his graduation class. After graduation, he worked in Philadelphia as a college recruiter for a satellite college at Parsons. After that, he served as an infantry platoon leader in Vietnam at the age of 24, and was awarded several military commendations, including 2 Bronze Stars, and he attained the rank of first lieutenant. After Vietnam, Steve attended graduate school under the GI Bill, receiving an MA, MBA, and JD. And after that, he worked in college administration for several years, including serving as president of Camarillo Pacific University in San Diego. He was past president of the San Diego Career Guidance Association. After that, he founded a general law practice in Anderson, Indiana, where he still works today. Steve has served as a part-time juvenile defender for over 32 years, representing juvenile clients charged with everything from murder to truancy. In 2005, the Indiana Public Defender Council awarded him the Gold Award as the state's top juvenile defender. He has served as a member of the Child Protection Team in Anderson, Indiana for many years. He served the community as president of the Community Center for several years. He served as a board member and youth leader of the First United Methodist Church, both in San Diego, California, and Anderson, Indiana. And he has represented neglected and abused children for years. He is married to his wife, Judy, for over 40 years. He has 2 grandchildren, 2 children and 2 grandchildren. He is the son of Harriet and Kenny Smith, longtime residents of Fairfield. Steve and I both grew up in Fairfield, and his sisters include Kate Martin Smith of Parker, Colorado, Ann Kirkham Smith of Larchmont, New York, Cindy Knutson Smith of Deerfield, Illinois, and myself, and I live in Minneapolis. I'm just proud to be able to come and accept this for Steve. He wrote just a brief letter, said that I would like to thank you and Parsons College Foundation for the honor of being inducted to the Wall of Honor. Thank you for your kind remarks. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend as I have a previous commitment. I will be in Minneapolis this weekend with some of the men I trained with when I was in Officer Candidate School for Fort Benning in 1968. My brother, Paul Smith, will be there representing me. Congratulations to the other alumni being inducted. I consider it an honor to be mentioned with them. I did know Gene Timmerman, and I was quite fond of him. He was one of my fraternity brothers. I remember Gene's participation in President Kennedy's 50-mile march by going from Fairfield to Ottumwa and back. I'm so sorry that he is no longer with us. He was one of the good guys. Thank you very much for this honor. Steve.
Robert Spencer, class of 57, coach and mentor. I was very honored when Bob asked me to do his presentation today. It was the summer of 1970. I had just completed my first year of teaching at Parsons College, and Dr. John Ward, chairman of the department and athletic director, called me to his office to share the good news that Parsons would be establishing a women's intercollegiate athletic program under the direction of Bob Spencer. Dr. Ward explained that a small private college located in Wahoo, Nebraska, John F. Kennedy College,